So, you want to know the fastest ways to get rich, right? Everybody does. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Every single fast path has a price. And in the next few minutes, we're not just going to look at the paths, we're going to reveal the real price you have to pay.
Okay, look at this number. Over $1.6 million. I mean, that feels like lottery money, right? Impossible. But what if I told you that number is the result of a really simple, repeatable process? A process that can start with almost nothing.
That's right. You can get to that massive number by just doubling $100 only 14 times. Sounds simple, right? Almost easy. And mathematically, it is. But that just brings up a huge problem. Exactly. Nobody wants to wait for years, maybe even decades for that to happen. You want to enjoy your life now, while you're young and can actually do stuff. You're looking for that one moment, that one big break that changes everything.
And that's the real question, isn't it? Because those moments, they do come, but they don't wait around for you to get prepared. So that's what this is all about. It's about getting you ready so when your big opportunity finally shows up, you don't let it just slip through your fingers.
Okay, so let's break down the different ways people actually get wealthy. I want you to think of it like a ladder. Each rung is a different path, and as you climb higher, the speed goes up, but so does the cost. And boom, here's our ladder in a nutshell. We're going to climb this thing together, starting from the slowest, most certain path all the way at the bottom, and go all the way up to the lightning-fast, super high-risk plays at the very top. So let's start at the beginning. All right, first up, the classic. This is the path your parents probably preached to you. You build a valuable skill, get a high-paying job, and then you just consistently invest your money. It's the marathon of building wealth. And look, it absolutely works, but the price you pay is unbreakable discipline. Not for a month, not for a year, but for decades. And that's why most people quit. Not because the path is wrong, but because the timeline just feels infinite.
Moving up a rung on the ladder, we get to smarter plays, like real estate or getting equity in a business. Now look at the shift here. You go from running on a hamster wheel, trading your time for money, to owning the tree that grows the money for you. You stop working for money and you start owning assets that work for you. Yeah, it takes patience, but the payoff can be absolutely massive.
All right, now we're starting to pick up the pace. Sales. This path is different. It doesn't require a fancy degree. It doesn't require special connections. It's about one thing and one thing only: your raw ability to turn a conversation into cash. And you can generate that cash flow incredibly quickly. But there's always a catch, right? And for sales, it is brutal, relentless rejection. The real skill isn't trying to avoid the sting of hearing no. It's about being able to recover from it in seconds, not days. Most people's egos just can't take that constant paper cut. So you gotta ask yourself, honestly, could you? This next one, it's all about having the eye. It's about spotting undervalued opportunities everywhere. Cars, furniture, even digital stuff. It might start small, flipping things on the weekend, but the key is turning that knack for finding a deal into a repeatable system. That's when it becomes a serious money-making engine. And now, we enter the most dangerous territory on our ladder: crypto. High-frequency trading, big speculative bets. This is the top rung, where fortunes can literally be made in a flash, and you guessed it, lost even faster. To even survive in this zone, you need a really rare combination of traits. Yes, you need skill, and you need almost perfect timing. But the single biggest requirement, the one that absolutely wrecks almost everybody, is emotional control. The ability to stay completely rational when everyone else around you is either panicking or getting way too greedy. There's another extremely fast path, and that's the creative one. A single viral video, a hit song, a book that just takes off. It's like that one piece of content becomes this gravity well, pulling in attention and wealth from everywhere and changing your life overnight. But there's a hidden truth here. And this says it all, doesn't it? That overnight success is almost always a myth. That one viral moment you see is just the tiny, visible tip of a giant iceberg, made of years and years of practice, failure, and quiet, relentless effort that nobody ever saw. So, we've climbed this whole ladder. The slow path, the fast path, the risky path. But what if I told you the fastest way wasn't a method at all? What if the real secret, the ultimate accelerator, is something completely different? The secret, the real accelerator, is one word: proximity. It's not about what you know or even who you know. It's about being physically and socially close to where the action is already happening. It's about placing yourself directly in the flow of opportunity. You have to get this. Wealth isn't created in a vacuum. It flows. It flows through networks of people who are sharing information, ideas, and deals. So, the fastest way to get rich is to figure out how to get inside one of those networks. And that brings us to the final truth, the most important piece of this entire puzzle. We've talked about all these paths and secrets, but all of them are completely useless without this one final ingredient. It's not about what you do, it's about who you become.
See this list? Don't think of these as, nice personality traits. Think of them as the non-negotiable price of admission for getting wealthy. Every single path we just talked about requires you to pay with at least one of these, and usually several of them. And this is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. The methods are known. The paths are all there. The reason people fail isn't because the strategy was wrong. It's because they weren't willing, or maybe not able, to transform themselves into the kind of person who could walk that path all the way to the end.
So, let's wrap this up. Can you get rich fast? Absolutely, yes, but it is not free. The speed is paid for with immense risk, constant pressure, and the heavy responsibility of managing all of it. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. The opportunity will come. The question you have to answer between now and then is, who are you going to be when it does? Will you be ready?